Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out today. I'd first of all like to acknowledge the resident and current MP, Mr. Lawrence Scott, and also the former minister, the retired Lieutenant Colonel Birch, for joining in today. It's an honor to join in with all of you today as Bermuda's Deputy Premier and newly appointed Minister of Housing and Municipalities to officially open the Bermudiana beach residences. This project has had a long and complex journey, navigating global market shifts, public health challenges, and evolving development goals. Originally envisioned as Grand Atlantic, it has now been successfully reimagined into a vibrant residential beachfront community. Despite the many hurdles, we are proud to deliver a completed project that enhances the island's housing stock and raises the standard for modern living. I wish to acknowledge my predecessor, Lieutenant Colonel David Birch, whose unwavering commitment helped guide this development through its final stages. Thanks to his leadership and the continued work of the Bermuda Housing Corporation, we now welcome 94 newly completed residential units, featuring 25 studio apartments, 25 one-bedroom units, 28 two-bedroom units, and 16 three-bedroom units. These thoughtfully designed homes form a multi-family community, ideal for young professionals, couples, and small families, and include beach access, fitness areas, a pool, and a space for future amenities such as a restaurant and a wellness center. While the expected rental values ranging from $3,000 to $7,000 per month reflect the property's exceptional quality, amenities, and location, we recognize that this development is only part of the solution. The urgent need for truly affordable housing remains, and we are committed to addressing it. And that is the critical step. Today, while we celebrate this success, we also acknowledge the larger challenge. Bermuda needs more affordable housing, and it needs it urgently. That's why the Ministry of Housing and Municipalities have immediately intensified efforts with our partners, including the Bermuda Housing Corporation, Bermuda Housing Trust, and the private sector, to accelerate and production of accessible, affordable homes for Bermudians. In the coming weeks, we will present a medium to long-term housing strategy focused on the following priorities: affordable rental developments targeted at low to middle income households, rent geared to income programs for working families, innovative use of land and derelict buildings, public-private partnerships to expand housing opportunities, and new solutions to address the needs of single parents and young Bermudians trying to enter the housing market. Already, 9 units at Bermudiana Beach are occupied, with 13 more under agreement, and 8 local real estate agencies are engaged in ongoing tenant showings. Requests for proposals are underway for a restaurant and wellness center. This site will continue to evolve and serve as an anchor development for the Warwick community. Let me be clear. This is a step forward, but it is not the destination. The journey continues, and the next phase is about affordability, inclusion, and equity. This government remains deeply committed to delivering housing solutions that improve quality of life for all Bermudians. That means taking bold, innovative action and keeping affordability at the center of our strategy going forward. We will do this work transparently, in partnership with stakeholders across all sectors and with a sense of urgency that reflects the real needs of our people. Thanks to you all who made today possible. Together, we will build a Bermuda where safe, secure, and affordable housing is a reality for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. At this time, we welcome questions from the media.
Thanks for the update, Minister. Sarah Lagan from the Royal Gazette. Of those units that you said had already been secured, what size are those ones? Are they the studios or?
They're a mix.
So you've got nine units and 13 units. Do you know what size units they are in the mix?
They're the 1s, 2s, and 3s.
The 1s, 2s, and 3s?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry. And in terms of the target for these units, do you envisage it being Bermudian, expat, a mix? Is it targeted?
Well, it's open to all. The units are open to Bermudians and non-Bermudians.
So you're not really targeting any specific group there?
Nope.
Okay.
Not for this project.
Sure. You mentioned the amenities, the pool and all that. Is that all enclosed? That's only for this community, or is it open to outsiders?
No, that's for all the residents.
Yeah, so it's private in here only? Because you mentioned a Warwick community. I thought you meant that people could come in.
Well, the more people we have living and work, I'm sure the MP will be happy that any business and work will certainly, I would think, benefit from their presence.
Yeah, and obviously this was originally intended to be a solution for affordable housing. Would you say, like, given the current situation, that was a failed mission?
No, because define the word affordable. To
$3,000 for a studio apartment?
To some folks, $10,000 a month is affordable. Depends on what you're talking about.
Well, I think $3,000 per month for a studio is pretty high end.
Well, like I said, it's many hats to fit different sizes.
I think Colonel Birch had mentioned that this was hoped to be finished by the end of last year. There's a little bit of a delay. Can you talk about that?
Well, for all intents and purposes, it's just about complete. As you know, we have people living here. We do have a few things to finish off, but it's not stopping anyone from living and enjoying the amenities here.
Can you talk about what needs to be finished and how long it's going to take?
We have a parking lot which we hope to complete in the next month or two. But the other things are small things, like maybe hanging up some curtains and things like that. So for all intents and purposes, the complex is finished. As I said in my statement, we have a commercial kitchen. We also have a wellness center. So I'm sure that once these things are let and people move in, they'll want to change some things to fit their desire.
There's going to be some jobs, presumably, with these amenities. Do you know how many jobs it's going to create?
No, I don't. Not yet.
Okay. And any idea on how long it's going to take to recoup the funds?
Well, I think if you look at the EY report that we received, they estimated that if we get all the units rented out in the first year and a half, 2 years, after that period following, maybe we can sell the entire complex as a going concern. So within the next 2 to 5 years.
Okay, and ongoing costs in terms of maintenance for these units, is that full to the government?
It falls to the corporation, yes. You will know if you look at that report, and I have every reason to believe that that report is fairly accurate, that after the first year and a half, 24 months, it will start to be cash flow positive.
Thank you.
Minister, I have two questions. One, will this be a gated community to protect from outside elements?
No, it won't be a gated community.
No?
No,
And two, might these units be rent to buy
not at the moment.
anywhere in the future?
Possibly.
Possibility?
I always say, Trevor, that anything's possible with any development at any time, as this site is showing.
Thank you, Minister, for your remarks. Elisa Bernardo from BBC. My first question is that at the last press conference, we understood that government investment into this property was more than $100 million. Can you tell us where that figure now stands? Did you incur additional costs to get the property ready for rental?
I could tell you, as far as I'm aware, that's the number we were looking at, is 100 million complete.
Okay. And, you know, given the property's history, it's lived many different lives, and you've secured 9 rental units so far. How confident are you that you'll be able to rent all 94?
Well, I remain very confident. If you just take a look around and see how beautiful this is, and you look at the amenities, and it's just fabulous, it's magnificent. So I'm hopeful that the units will be rented out fairly quickly.
Okay. And you noted that the rentals are open to all, but at the previous press conference, we were told that the intention was to cater to those working in the IB sector to free up the local housing market. Is that still a possible goal?
Well, you answered the question for me. As you will know, the more folks that we have that are on island, that may be guest workers, if they move to these premises, then it frees up outside homes.
Okay. And since becoming the Minister of Housing, how would you assess the urgent need for housing in Bermuda as
How
it
would I
stands?
assess, sorry?
The need for housing in Bermuda.
The relief?
The need.
The need? Oh, the need is there. We have almost 300 people on the waiting list at Bermuda Housing Corporation, and my goal is to I hope to be a little bit more aggressive than the former minister, who was aggressive. You will know that he produced 70 homes in 2 years. My goal is to produce as many homes as quickly as we can for the people of this country that need them.
Okay. And just lastly, you noted the creation of a long-term strategy. When can we expect that to be published?
Can happen soon enough. Everyone is working on it in the ministry, led by my PS, and we continue to meet with all the stakeholders to gather information to put together that strategy.
Thank you.
Just one more question. You had to pay a break fee for the previous developers, and which was in the region of 500,000. Can you give me that final figure? What was that break fee?
I think you have the number correct. It was
500,000,
around
is
that,
right?
yes.
Lastly, security. I'm sure you have CCTVs that would make this property more secure.
Say again, Trevor, I'm sorry.
For security reasons, might it be security guards or security cameras in this facility?
Well, we do have employees that are on the site constantly. I think eventually, as we fill out the units, they will most likely develop a organization of some kind, and that may include full-time security.
And lastly, are any of the units furnished or they're all unfurnished?
They are all furnished.
All furnished. There you go. Thank you much.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, media. That concludes the press conference. Minister, do you have any closing remarks you'd like to add?
No, just that I would like to thank, obviously, the area MP for attending today, and I'd like to thank former Minister Birch for taking time out of his very busy retirement schedule to come out and join us, because he did lead us right through to completion. And I'd like to thank all the employees at Bermuda Housing Corporation and the employees that have been here working on site constantly for their attention and hard work. And I think that when folks come and visit these places, they'll see the beauty and the amenities that are here that is just beautiful.